Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's Sensei Pink and I'm coming back to you guys for my review on Lord Olympus episode 134. Now guys, you know the drill. Go follow me on both Instagram and Twitter and hit that subscribe and notification button to see more weekly videos. Now, before we start today, I do want to give a big shout out and thank you to Anne's Underworlds. She created a personal Lorsona for me named Rosecto. And Rosecto is the goddess of creativity, writing, and telling stories. And of course, if it has anything to do with me, of course, the color pink. So thank you, Miss Anne, for that. And now let's move on to kicking it in to this review. Picking up from Hermes basically looking for Percy at the door. Percy runs to the door and begins to ask Hermes whether he's seen her mom or not, and begins apologizing for, of course, all the trouble that this whole situation has caused him. Now, not wanting to, I guess, take his friend and, little crush, because I think it's obvious that Hermes does have a bit of a little crush on Percy. He just tells her and Hades to just forget he was there and just flies off. After Hermes is gone, Percy apologizes to Hades because, she just threw herself in danger. I mean, what if that wasn't Hermes? He could have probably took her or something, who knows. But either way, she apologizes for basically being a bit careless, and Hades tells her she needs to be a little bit more careful. Moving on, Hades tells her he's gonna head into work for a little bit and tries to get her to go take a bath, but Percy's I'm not gonna stay alone here with my thoughts and everything. I'm coming with you. After being convinced to have her tag along, Hades tells her to go get ready while he'll go get something for her and he'll be right back. Now, after Percy changes into a very 1930s inconspicuous sort of detective or so outfit, she meets Hades, and Hades shows her her way of basically keeping a low profile, and that is his cape of invisibility. Afterwards, the two hop in the car and start their ride to work, and as they're basically being the couple that they are, Percy holding coffee for Hades as he drinks and is driving, the two begin discussing how Percy got big once and whether or not she can do it again. Although she mentions that was the only time she's ever gotten big, she does tell him she does feel flickers of it from time to time, but she wishes that she could have got big sometimes because she could have used it. Now, as the two of them wrap up their convo, we cut over to Minthe and Thanatos, who are in Hades' office, and Minthe is basically telling Thanatos today is the day. Minthe continues on by saying today's the day that Hades walks in, sees how luminous she is, realizes that he made a mistake, basically pursuing Percy, and they'll just be together in a snap. After hearing her plan, Thanatos throws some doubt in it, what if Hermes was right? And Minthe is basically that just can't be possible, because if he was right, they'd be fucked. So she's just there's just no way that Hermes is gonna be right. As these two were talking, they do hear Hades walk in, and Minthe kicks Thanatos out the office through a window, and Hades begins walking up the stairs with Percy, who's invisible, on his arm. And of course Minthe can't see her, but I mean, we sort of see a pink shadow or something like that on his arm, so we know she's there. Now surprised to see Minthe in his office and sort of motioning for Percy to let go of his arm, Hades asks Minthe what is it that he can do for her. As a response, Minthe begins untying her jacket, and as she's untying her jacket, she's she basically says to Hades I saw the news about Percy, you must be devastated, or whatever, and I just came to keep you company. And as she's doing this and takes off her jacket, it's revealed she came in some lingerie, and she came ready to, I guess, win him back. Now, before Minthe can even finish her sentence and I guess drop her coat, Hades grabs the little ties to her jacket, ties the jacket back on her, and just is just like, no, I can assure you that I'm fine, and tells her that, you know, he's busy and would prefer for her to never do that again and for her to excuse herself. Now pissed, Minthe tells Hades like, you know, he's still up her ass even though like she's a traitor and whatnot, but Hades basically calls her out and is like, you know, before you told me like she was too perfect and now she's too wrathful, like what is it? It would just be like interesting if she was both. And as he says that both word, he gestures for her to like leave. Now after Minthe storms out, the Nados, who is watching this all go down from the window Minthe pushed him out of, sees Hades turn towards like a chair where Percy is sitting, and the chair turns and Percy obviously becomes uninvisible, and he realizes that basically Hermes was right, like they completely fucked up. And we end this episode with like Hades and Percy, red-eyed Percy, like looking at each other all lovingly. I love that shot. And basically the Nados realizing that they are fucked. Now Minthe. Now guys, like someone needs to just like get Minthe a new job, and her new job obviously needs to be basically working at McDonald's, and more specifically dressing up as Ronald McDonald for the children, because she is just a goddamn clown. Her, Thetis, the Nados, like that is the clown crew. Like Thetis, she thinks she's gonna be queen or something. I just can't wait for her to be put in her place. Minthe just got to realize that she's a goddamn clown, so she needs to leave that office and just go fill out an application for McDonald's. The Nados, he's a hater, and maybe he should just go join her too and be part of the Ronald McDonald clown pack. I'm sure if you had a party at McDonald's, like any 90s baby, like, you know, there's other characters, like I think like the hamburger stealer and whatnot, so Minthe and the Nados can just like fill in those roles too. So now, like with that just being said, let me jump into my one prediction that I have for next week. For my only prediction today, I predict that after what the Nados saw, he's either going to tell Minthe and Thetis like they fucked up, like they gotta do something to like save themselves, not to keep getting entangled in their mess. Like they need to save themselves. Or he's gonna try and maybe get some help from his mom because he knows he fucked up. I mean, the Nados really is the one responsible for finding Persephone's like ledger, so like he gotta do something, because although I didn't want him to, I want him to like make up for his mistake. You know, I do think that, you know, he will and could be held accountable. And I'm pretty sure that when Percy does become queen, she'll hold him accountable for basically trespassing into her room. Well, that's it for today, guys. Let me know, what do you guys think is going to happen to the clown crew in the future? Go follow me on both Instagram and Twitter, and smash that like button if you enjoyed watching. And finally, guys, hit that subscribe and notification button to see more of me, Sensei Pink.